Hey everyone and welcome back! Today we are making these quick and easy place cards with meal choice, perfect for any DIY wedding. These can be made with the meal choice food icon or without, and in whatever font you are using for the rest of your wedding signage. The font I am using today will be linked in the video description along with a discount and the full supplies list. So I'm starting over in Cricut Design Space in the images to search for my graphics first. I have actually used these little icons before on my own wedding signage. I did printed menus for my wedding, so I just need to relocate those. I search for carrot and scroll down to this guy. If you are having a hard time finding it, type this in the search bar and it should pop up. Once you find the right carrot, then I click on View Image Sets to see the rest of the full set and select the icons that I want to add to my canvas. Now it is time to create my place card template. So to do this, I add in a square, unlock, and change the size of that to a 3 by 2 inch. This is the standard size for the style place card. I change that to white since the color of my cardstock is ivory. I also adjust the sizing of the icons so they will fit a little bit better in the bottom corner and save my project like that, so I have my basic template ready to revisit when needed. For the place cards with the meal choice included, I like working with one section at a time, so I am starting with all of the vegetable dishes first. This saves me time in designing my templates and also making sure each icon is in the same exact position as the next card. I can print and cut 8 of these at a time, so I like working in sections of 8 or 16, so I duplicate the card template until I have my 8. Now I just copy and paste the names in, changing the font and adjusting the size. Then I ungroup the names and weld each one individually. I have to do this step because sometimes with these calligraphy style fonts, once I flatten them to the card, it will add in extra black in between the letters. So I like doing this off to the side by welding each individually. So most of the names do weld together just fine, but you can see once I get to Cindy's, the N kind of cuts into the D a little bit, so that just automatically fills in that space with the same color as the lettering. So I have to go back, scooch that letter over just a tad bit, and then weld again. Same thing with Byron's name. This is just how all calligraphy fonts are, so instead of doing this on the card, it's easier for me to do this off to the side, then move the names over onto the cards after I have done this part. I then change the color of the lettering from gray to black and start positioning those on each card. One thing to keep in mind with these is they are going to be sitting in the little wood holder, and that has quite a deep slot. So I want to kind of position the names like a little bit higher up on the card just to account for the space on the bottom that is going to be sitting inside of the wood holder. Once everything is arranged how I like it, it is time to flatten each card. To do this, I highlight the card, the name, and the food icon, then hit the flatten button. I also delete out the rest of the icons I'm not going to be using at this time. Since I want these to be the highest quality as possible, I am going to adjust my printer settings to print on high quality. I then send these to that printer to print without bleed on an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. Then I cut these on the heavy cardstock setting. I'm using a light grit mat for these cardstock pieces and a soft scraper to help adhere the cardstock to the mat. For print and cut projects, the Cricut will actually use a little light to read the edges of the paper so it knows exactly where to cut. Once it gets past that part though, it is a super quick cut, hardly taking any time at all, so you can really bust these out pretty fast once you get into the groove of it. Just to give you an example, I have made over 200 of these in just like 2 to 3 hours, so just to kind of give you an idea about how much time you need to set aside for this project. Once those are done cutting on my Cricut, I flip the mat over to help release those. This just helps keep the shape a little bit easier. If you just peel them straight off the top, then sometimes they will get like a little bit of a curve to them. I add my cards to these adorable little wood holders that I got from Amazon. Don't worry, I also linked those down below in the video description. Now that I have all my vegetable cards cut, I can hop back on Cricut Design Space, opening that saved project that I had, and start on my next food choice template. Then I keep doing that through all of the choices until all of my place cards are complete. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I hope that helped in creating your own wedding projects. Let me know any questions that you have in the comments section, and I will see you again soon.